And we're live.
Are we?
We are.
Sweet.
All right, do you want to play the intro music?
Oh, yeah.
We are.
Shit. Okay, wait. Sweet.
All right, do you want to play? And welcome to LBS, the Lagging Balls stream, episode 1. Everybody's here. Everybody's in chat. Like, you guys, I can't even believe how many of you were here to begin with for the pre-show while we were messing up, while I was messing up the setup here. Thank you for your patience. Welcome, everyone. Fist, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am also fine.
Cool.
This is a great start to the show.
I see Lore is also streaming right now.
Oh, damn it.
Yep.
Lore, come on. Oh, I need to tweet about it. Everybody wait while we tweet about it.
It's fine. I did it. It's fine. Okay, so, the LBS is not ever going to be a podcast, so it's going to be super, inclusive. Like, we want to, like, hang out with you guys in the chat room. We don't want to just, like, talk to each other because we do that way too much.
Right.
So yeah, so sort of the idea of the stream is every week we're gonna pick a topic and talk about it. And the topic of this week is gaming relationships. So let's start the discussion on that, shall we?
We shall.
Stop doing stuff. You cannot.
I have to do stuff. I'm running the show here. You gotta let me do stuff.
You can't do anything.
All right.
Oh, nice. Okay, so apparently the form LB is actually an abbreviation of the Latin word libra, which means pound. Like pound, like gonna pound stuff into the ground.
Thanks, Spaz.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Today I learned why LBS stands for pound.
Yeah. Wow. There's another abbreviation that I know. Pound,
What is it?
Etc. Incorporated, lol, but not lull. Like LUL. Is that different? Like as a lull, like is different than lull? I don't know. Anyway, so let's get into it. Okay, so how would you get into a relationship via a Blizzard game? I feel like the easiest way to get into a relationship is probably through WoW. Because, you know, you're hanging out, you're probably on a roleplay server, maybe not, I don't know, but it's just like it's easier. I think with WoW, there's more downtime to talk to people and to goof off and like go and do shit. And then, you know, you might find somebody to goof off and do shit with.
Find me somebody to love. Find me somebody to love. Right?
Yeah.
Right? That's what you meant?
No. But, okay. Isn't it funny, like, okay, how you can do, like, certain emotes in game that, like, are kind of sexy? Like, you'll be, like, running past people in a major city, and you'll see, like naked blood elves, and, like, one person's, like, standing up, and the other person's, like, kneeling in front of them. And, like, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like you know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean, if you've been around a little bit, you know what's going on. You know what's going down.
Yeah, but there's just like in WoW, there's so much room for bullshit, essentially, which is probably why it's my favorite game. But I'm just wondering like how you would find love in other Blizzard games. Shall we start with Overwatch?
Yes. So I think step 1 in Overwatch is to not look for a relationship in Overwatch.
Okay.
Okay. Well, look. Are we going to come back around to WoW as like last?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like a couple of the games are going to fall into the same sort of category. But how social do you really get to be in Overwatch?
Not very.
I mean, if you're in team chat, team voice chat, if you've enabled that, And if you're in a group and you move over into team chat, then you can, obviously hear other people if they choose to talk. Sometimes I'll join that stuff and not talk and just hear things and then respond to them. Other times I'll just be like, oh my God, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. What if some people like have like a tilt fetish? Is that a thing? Just like, oh, that guy is so tilt. Yes. Tell me I suck. Call me a pleb, please, daddy.
You know what? I imagine all shapes, right?
Yeah. But anyway, so like the closest thing I've come to romance in Overwatch is when we made our custom map and we went in there specifically to try to roleplay because it was before they kind of like discouraged all of that. Before Jeff said that you shouldn't be doing that stuff. So we went in and like it was you and I and like a bunch of guildies and some other random people, and not everybody wanted to get into like voice chat.
Yeah.
And when somebody else finally did, I was Tracer, and I was talking like this. I was like, "Ah, cheers, love. Put it in my ear. I like that." And dude's like, "Oh, cool." And dude had this accent that I really recognized, and I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like I broke character. I was like, "Dude, are you from Ontario?" And he's like, "Yeah."
That's
I'm
right.
like, "Oh, I'm from Ontario," and that totally just like ruined the whole thing. But like, can you?
Wait, why did it ruin everything? You're from the same place.
Well, because we weren't role playing anymore. We were talking about where we were from.
I get you. Okay. Yeah. So it didn't. It ruined your immersion.
Yes. Is it still called immersion if it's like sexy? Like.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so like if you were role
You're
playing
role playing
IRL,
sexily.
if you're role playing IRL, like my wizard cap and cloak or whatever, is that immersion? Or is that just like role playing? I don't know.
Well,
Is there,
I mean,
like, a
isn't it?
different
It's
word
immersion in role playing.
Is there like a no? What I'm trying to ask is like, is there a different word for sexy immersion?
Oh. Sex immersion, huh?
Sex immersion, like that's
don't
what I was
know.
thinking, but it
Yeah, I
doesn't
don't know.
sound like it doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
My chair
You're
is
like-
sinking. One moment. Okay.
Jeez. You okay?
And we're back.
It'd be funny if you like dropped out of the frame.
It's gonna happen. This chair is on its last legs. Anyway, I just ruined the immersion of the moment.
You did. I think
I don't know if you call that something different.
we've got ERP, sex immersion, erotimmersion, erotic roleplay. So okay. So one of you's dressed up like a wizard, and the other one's dressed up like sexy Chewbacca or something like that. And the fucking phone rings, and Chewbacca's like, "Oh fuck, can you just? I need to get that." And Wizard's like,
Wait, where on Chewbacca would the phone be?
like, I'm thinking of like a landline or something.
Oh, so not like a fur pocket?
No. Okay, so the phone rings, and sexy Chewbacca's like, "Oh fuck, dude, I gotta get this," and Wizard Dude's like, my immersion. And he's like, "Yeah, but it's probably my nana. I gotta pick it up." So it's like, is that like an appropriate time in IRL to go, "Oh, my immersion, and also my boner"? It's just like, phew.
Yes?
Yes. Okay.
I
Cool.
don't, I don't know the answer to that.
Sex baka or too sexy or something. I don't know. Let's get back to the topic at hand though. So, love and Overwatch. Like, you might find somebody that you like playing with. Somebody who's got
Giggity.
like the same MMR. Somebody who, just, I don't know. Like, sometimes you meet people in Overwatch that you want to play with because you guys kind of click. You guys have the same kind of play style. You guys are kind of like on the same wavelength, It's like maybe
Yeah.
one of you's a healer, one of you's a tank, and you don't mind being heals and tank, and like you don't know each other, but you're playing as if you always have. you know?
Yep, totally.
Like you
Totally
meet
get
those
that.
people sometimes. Sometimes like those people are in other groups and they go away and you never see them again, and you're like, oh, I wish I had friended that person. What if that person was like, someone you were meant to be with? Like you're thinking, oh, like that was a really great game. That guy's a really great player, but like, are you ever thinking, oh, I could have had sex with that guy potentially?
Well, all right, hold on. He threw a lot out there, so let me go back.
Sorry.
Um, in terms of the social part, right?
Hmm.
Let me step way back for a second
Okay.
to kind of the original question for Overwatch, and then part of what you just touched on, the whole idea of same play styles and that sort of thing. That's some of the reason why you group with people to begin with, right? You friend people, and then you start playing with them, and then because you're playing with them and then you're on your friends list, then you might be having each other's voice in each other's ears, right? And
Sure.
maybe you both get off on memeing, right? And well, I don't necessarily mean get off as in get off. I
I
mean,
do.
yeah, okay, well, that's great. Hey, you know what? The more you know. And so because you're actually talking to each other, that does give you the social aspect, right? And if you're just in quick play or oh my god, it's a that I came up with it.
What?
The term for hooking up in Overwatch.
What is it?
Quick play and chill.
Hang on. QP and C. Quick
Yeah.
play and chill.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey man, chick play and chill. What the fuck?
Or that, so you can use it in a hashtag.
Ah, yeah.
QPNC. Joey Image really likes to know that his nipples itch, though, by the way.
That means somebody's talking about you.
I think it means a little more than that.
Just like frantically scratching your nipples. All of a sudden there's like blood pools like forming under your shirt.
Logic also said he's highly attracted to Tracer and he assumes anyone playing her just looks like her. And I think, that's the right attitude for this game. Like,
Yeah.
if there's Bikini Widow in your match, like, get on that. That's the person to friend and get in your ear, my friend.
Yeah.
So, advice number one, take the logic road and assume whoever's playing whatever character, that's what they look like.
Okay.
I'm laughing so hard that my voice is cracking.
Um,
So, if you like them big and buxom, look for the Roadhogs,
mhm.
right?
Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, you got to go with what you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I just it would be really hot if
True,
okay,
bud.
like my top 3 Overwatch characters, Daddy 76, Michelle, then Tracer, then McCree. I think.
The hottest?
Yeah. In terms of
Nice.
hotness. Yeah.
I don't think I knew that Tracer was on your list.
Oh, she totally is. And she'd be into me, not you.
That's hot, and I agree.
Suck it.
That is hot, and I
Suck
agree.
it. What about you? What's your top 3?
My top 3 Overwatch characters? Hold on, I need to bring up the list.
Zenyatta, Orisa, and May. I know May's one of yours.
Mei is top of my list.
Mm. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
And then Anna. No, I'm just kidding. Mei is top of my list, followed by Diva,
Mm-hmm.
followed by
Don't do that.
Sombra.
Don't do that. Sombra,
No,
really?
no, probably Mercy. Mercy would be third.
I don't know. I think I choose Sombra over Mercy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Sombra's too cool for me.
Yeah, Sombra's way cool. Mercy's kind of like mom. Plus, like, Mercy kind of looks like my mom, so it's kind of like a weird
Well,
thing
all
for
right,
me.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah. My mom looks like Mercy, so. But she's not Swedish. Anyway, so
We're gonna come back to some of the stuff in the chat, by the way. You guys are bringing up some really cool stuff that we'll come back to that.
yeah. But yeah.
Understand says, or Platinum Monkey says, hack my PP.
By the way, did you guys see the key art for Overwatch today? It's a really sweet picture of Doomfist. I likes it. Looks good. wet booping noises. That'd be like boop or something. I don't know. Is that ASMR when I make noises? Does that feel good in
I
people's
think
ears?
you'd have to like adjust the stereo. It's only coming from one side.
Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, so as I was saying, you find somebody that you click with in game, and you think, oh, this is great. We're playing together, and this guy's a good player. But like, how often do you stop and think, like, should I friend this guy? But not just for friendship, like for potentially hooking up with this person, or like hanging hanging out with this person, like, and making a relationship. Like, I think that Overwatch is maybe like too new to hear any of those like relationship success stories,
Yeah, I
Um,
I've not heard anything relationship wise at all from that just yet, but
oh my God, that looks great.
you can even see my beard from underneath. And the like how much it fits the background here is like a little unnerving, honestly.
Um, anyway, see,
And
this is what I was afraid of.
the memes are gonna keep going on this show too. Now that I can mess with the visuals of what we're doing, oh, it's on.
Oh God. So I'll just keep talking then.
Well, side note, Big G said, but Mercy can get you back into the fuck.
That's true.
It's a solid
It's
point.
like, oh, my dick's broken. She's like, my servants never die. And then you're like, did you just assume like my dick's roll? Like, is that like what? Like, are you just on that? Because like, are you just with me because of my penis? Like, I don't appreciate that. Like, you won't even look me in the eye. Like, you're always just looking down. I don't appreciate that. Your servant, really? I'm out of here. She's like, I literally just revived your dick. Like,
Ro, I think you came in around the right time,
hi,
buddy.
yeah. So I can see there being a potential to find like somebody to do stuff with.
Spaz just said, Mercy comes once more. Heroes never dry.
This is,
I'm trying to pay attention to what you're saying, but the
I know
chat is cracking me
very
up.
difficult. It's very, very difficult. You guys are too funny.
Yes, I'm not used to
Um,
multitasking. I'm bad at it, you guys, just like this said. So you're cracking me up, and I'm sorry. Sorry, this. Go ahead.
Shit. What was I saying? Right. But what about the other games? Like, what about Diablo and Hearthstone?
Well, what about how about Heroes of the Storm?
Okay.
What do you think about?
I think that there is a lot of potential to meet people to like potentially hook up with or be in a relationship with in Heroes of the Storm.
Really?
Yes.
I would not think that. Tell me why you think that.
Well, because I don't know. I just like in my experience, you're usually looking for other people to play with, and like as you log in, it says like, oh, this stranger is looking for someone to play with,
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, a stranger like in my area wants to play with me. It's
Singles
just
in
like,
your area
yeah, exactly.
want to meet you.
It's like singles in your area want to play hots with you. It's like, oh, okay. So you
Gay,
click,
straight,
so you
bi,
click.
curious,
No,
heroes.
yeah. But so it's just like every time you log in, there's the potential to meet a new person and potentially, what's going on? Let's play some hots together.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I think MOBAs can be really sensual, like you're just like, I need to move there, click, and over there, click, and over there, click. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I'm learning so much about you today.
Hmm.
MOBAs can be sensual.
Sure.
Time out.
Oh, okay.
Sensual MOBA.
Are you Googling that?
No,
Oh.
I'm hashtagging it. We got to pull out the good shit here.
Yeah. But just like, I don't know, every time I listen to the Lords of the Storm podcast, like you can hear how much they want each other because they play HOTS,
You can
And I
hear
don't-
that where?
on the Lords of the Storm podcast.
Oh.
And none of them are here right now I think to defend themselves. So I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about them. But I'm just using that as an example. Or, the show The Core.
Yeah, they all want each other too.
They all want each other because they play Heroes of the Storm. It's like you can't help but fall in love with people you play with. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I don't know. Well, like, what are your thoughts on it though? Like, why did you want to bring up Heroes of the Storm?
I feel like it's I felt like Overwatch and Heroes in particular were some of the least potential, but I feel like you changed my mind on Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
So I was curious because I was kind of grouping those two together. I was curious what. Sorry, I diverted you to go to Heroes next, but I was kind of curious like how you would, because the thing is, in Overwatch you can go right into voice. Like you can be in a match with someone, and you know how you can do that choose to stay in a group thing at the end. Let's say things went well, maybe you were type chatting some things here and there. These other people are funny or whatever.
Wouldn't it be funny if like choosing to stay as a group sort of evolved into like a social cue for like hey,
a swipe right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I would like to stay in the group. How about you? And then like two more people click yes, and you're like, oh shit. This is exactly what I wanted.
Let's just add another button at that point though, right? Like just choose to stay in a group and there's wet booping sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So but what I was getting at was in Overwatch you can be playing and meet people and then choose to stay as a group is one of the ways that you can end up in a group with them. You can obviously friend them directly, or none of the above, and you can jump right into voice chat during that same match, if not the next one or whatever. So you have the opportunity built into the game, baked into the game, technology-wise, to be able to hear this person. But not so in Heroes.
Okay, so you're saying like it's more likely that you will fall in love with somebody or lust, as it were, if you can hear them.
Well, I feel like there's a progression, right? There's playing together first with minimal communication. Then there's type chatting, textual intercourse, if you will. And then the next progression is to hear each other. Okay. And then I would argue the next progression after that is to video.
Right. Like on the Skype or the FaceTime.
Yes.
Hey, everybody, it's FaceTime. I don't know what that was.
Ro says in chat, are you ready for some HOTS group fun, champion? Hit the play button to begin. Naked heroes in your area are waiting to meet you.
But Platinum brings up an interesting point. HOTS and Overwatch are for quickies, WoW is for life. I get that. Because, isn't HOTS like a lot of the time a quickie as well as, a quick play in Overwatch? Just like, I'm going to hit it and quit it. And then I'm going to hit it again and then also quit it. I'm going to hit it and quit it. Hit it and quick it. Click it.
Hit it and click it?
That's like a MOBA thing. Yeah. It's like, hey, baby, I want to hit it and click it. And you know exactly what that means, don't you? It means we're going to play some Dirty HOTS all night long. Dirty HOTS!
Dirty HOTS.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to play Heroes of the Storm or do you want to play Dirty HOTS?
Hashtag Dirty HOTS. Got it.
Like, is that what you
Nailed
want?
it. Nice one. There it is.
Thank you. Yeah, but
the
okay,
vapors, huh? Wow. Damn, Mike.
Wow.
The vapors. Somebody hold me up.
How does it feel to have my cousin hit on you?
It's strangely interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. Where was it? Right. So.
I feel like I need a different meme now.
How would one find love in Diablo or Hearthstone? Because, 90% of the time you're playing Hearthstone on the can.
Okay. That's not the sexiest unless it's like you're both into scat or something, right?
Depending on what you're doing on the can, but yeah. Okay, do you have
Fair.
Do you guys have this thing where like you're on the can and you're looking at your phone because that's what you do, but you kind of avoid looking at like pictures of people you like or like I don't know, just like looking at things that
might turn you on?
That might turn you on, or
so you don't get horny on the can?
You like Yeah, exactly. Or like you're looking at like somebody you respect, like your boss or various people
Somebody
from
you
Blizzard. I don't
respect.
know. But like, do you feel that? It's just like, oh, I'm gonna go on my phone and I'm gonna check the Instagram profile of somebody I think is cute, and then like you can't do it because you're on the can. And it's like, what if they can see me through their phone when I look at their picture? Like they're looking in my eyes.
I'm not sure
And
I feel that way, but I get that. I get that. I totally
yeah,
get that. Yeah.
I uh sometimes I'm on the phone with people. I won't give it away who it is. It's my mom. And I'll just hear the toilet flush. I'm like, that makes me so uncomfortable. I don't know why. It's a thing.
Or like when our raid leader goes silent and we're like trying to get him to answer
Yes.
something and he won't answer, and then we're finally like, did he DC or something? And then he's like, I was peeing.
Yeah,
So
he's
like
got like
he's
the
had our
wireless headset.
yeah, so he's
And I'm
had
just over
our
talking.
our sounds in his ears the whole time, and that's somehow okay with him. I don't hear you motherfuckers while I'm trying to go to the bathroom.
No, that's the thing that we do.
What's up, Bordado? Cinder's in here. So many people are in it. You guys are awesome.
So
This is so
Siri can't
cool.
watch me. No, Siri, don't watch me. Um, so anyway, so you're playing Hearthstone on the can, and you're covering up the camera so Siri can't watch you. And, Ben Brode can't watch you either, because every time you play Hearthstone, Ben Brode can see you. If you didn't know. Um, so, I don't know, like, it's, for me, like, if I see somebody on Battle.net playing Hearthstone, uh, it tells you, like, when they're battling, but it also tells you when they're, like, hanging out or chilling in the,
The
what's it
tavern.
called? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like, presumably you could talk to somebody while they're just like chilling in the tavern and stuff, but like with Hearthstone, I always kind of assume that people are busy. Like it's not the
Yeah.
same like with WoW, you like from the Battle.net launcher, you can see that somebody's playing WoW, and so there's like a good chance that they're not that busy.
Yeah.
So you can talk to them when you're in game, and if you're in guild with them, you can see like where they are. So if like I see somebody in Tombstar Garrus, I'm probably not going to message them until they're out. But even then, like DVM takes care of that. But with Hearthstone, like it's hard to like sort of gauge when you can talk to people. So I feel like that in itself is a huge boner killer, you know? Because like when you want to get freaky with somebody, spontaneity is really important, I feel.
So Hearthstone is the boner killer
Yes.
among these.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Okay. Well, I mean, Ro just said in chat he's never played um, Hearthstone on the can.
I believe
So
that.
we're
He's a
we're
classy person.
we're generalizing a lot though, because Hearthstone, some of those matches can last a nice bit. So I mean that's a lot of time on the can. I don't I don't doubt that people played on the can, absolutely, but I don't know that they necessarily started or ended the match there. Like they might have started it before, went to go get down, finished their biz, and then continued afterward or something. For all I know. I mean, it, some of those matches get long, is what I'm getting at. So
Yeah, so do I. What's up?
plus,
Uh,
there's a lot of people who spend a lot of time in that game, and even if they were playing it on the can, they would only be doing like one round of it there. You know.
I mean, hopefully you would only be going for one round.
Fair, but
Hopefully.
still, though, like that's. Don't you feel like that's a bit of an overgeneralization? Like you're
I mean,
lumping everybody together as being on the can immediately?
yes, but like I'm just saying, Ro is classier than everybody we know. And I think everybody
Logic's
in the chat
watching
room
this
can
stream right now on the can.
see. Just saying.
Awesome.
Like, where would we be right now if we weren't doing this?
Yeah, if you're not
I
bare-assed while you're watching us, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. I want you all to take out your phones and press record sound, and then I put it to your ass, and I want to hear like the ripping sound
No.
that
Don't do
when
that.
you sit up and like it's like bare skin like stuck to your chair.
Like peeling from the.
I want to hear it. I want to see it, but I want to hear it. Okay, so what about Diablo? I feel like Diablo could be romantic.
Yeah?
I feel like you
How so?
could, well, you're adventuring together. And the thing about Diablo is that like it's instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just like It's like, I'm gonna kill all these guys. I'm gonna get the spells. I'm gonna get the loot. I'm gonna get so much loot. I'm gonna get so much gold. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, you're adventuring and you're with your friends or with somebody sexy, and you're just like, I feel powerful and I'm getting all the loot and all the gold. Why not all the chicks?
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying? It's
first
just
you
like,
get the loot, then you get the gold, then you get the chicks.
exactly. So like, okay, so you're hanging out with somebody you like, you've got this immersion going on, you're adventurers. It's like
Okay.
you two against the world, and like you're going on this like super long adventure, and you're exploding corpses or whatever. And both of you are just like gaining, gaining, and it's like it feels good. It makes you happy. It's like euphoric. It's like, look at all the gold I have. I
Yeah.
can transmog the shit out of everything. Ugh. Um, and like, doesn't that make you just like want to,
Oh,
get down?
Jesus.
No?
Yeah, but Draven said in chat, motto of all necromancers: dead girls don't say no.
That's true.
I
It's like,
mean, imagine what do you have to lose, right? An
baby.
STD, like you're not gonna get a
Explode your
baby.
corpse. What's going on? Yeah.
Explode in your corpse.
Yeah. Either or. I'll explode your corpse by exploding in your corpse.
That's how you get down.
Yeah. That's
Friday night.
right. Yeah, it is Friday night. Thank you, everyone, for spending your Friday nights with us.
Okay, so back to your question. You're saying you're adventuring, you're getting all the stuff together, you're growing together,
Yeah.
right? And that's the basis, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
It all grows from there?
Oh my God, Ro just said Michael Bay. One sec. That'll never get old.
That app.
Yeah. That app. Ew.
Pardon me.
So yeah, so I think Diablo has the it can be romantic. Maybe
Really?
less sexy, more romantic. Like it could spark feelings of like romance and love, just because it's.
Well, I mean, you might spend a lot of time like getting leveled up, right?
Mhm.
Like every new season, you might level together, or one of you might have fallen behind, so they might power level the other one.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that's a great experience though, because mostly you're just standing in a doorway waiting, right?
that's true.
See, these are all the sounds that I make every week during the show that Fist is kind enough to edit out, and you guys don't have to deal with.
Just gotta
So,
stop sticking stuff
there
down
you
your
go.
throat all day.
For live, you're kind of screwed.
Okay, so I think we've covered everything. So I wanted to get back to WoW. I think that like out of all of the Blizzard games, including StarCraft, World of Warcraft is like the one that you are most likely to meet somebody in, because the game is sort of designed to bring people together
Yeah,
in all sorts of different ways.
that's how we met.
Yes, that's how we met.
Early on in the guild too.
And like I've met so many other people who are super important in my life.
Absolutely.
And just like there's been so many relationships, like romantic relationships that I've seen pop up around the guild and stuff like that. Hey, don't try to distract me with that Ian Hazukosa stuff, because it is distracting. What was I saying?
You were saying you've seen people in the guild end up in relationships as well. You've seen a lot of relationships develop in game.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, there's proof, and like you see it everywhere. It's just like whenever, you're on Facebook and you're in those, like, does everybody else like sign up for those World of Warcraft pages, like all of the different ones? I sign up for as many as possible because there's some weird shit in there.
Yeah,
But
that's pretty good. You get all the memes and all the
yeah,
weird stuff.
but, like every other day, there's like, hey, I met my spouse in World of Warcraft. Who met their spouse in World of Warcraft? And then like a bazillion people are like talking about how they've met somebody in WoW. So I just think, just like with the nature of the game, it's just like people are brought together.
Yep.
And and that's how you meet people. And then with WoW, it's like, since you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do with your game time, like you can definitely just like go off with this person and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I think with Discord and with Battle.net app itself, like there's just like so many ways for people to like speak to each other with voice and to see each other and watch each other's streams and just all this stuff. So it's just like, I think WoW is where you should look if you're looking for love. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think overwhelmingly the chat agrees as well.
Hmm.
I think it's the most social of all the games, and it's the one that allows for the most room for that.
Hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so um, why would a gaming relationship be better than your traditional IRL relationship? Like, what are the perks? Like, obviously, you both play the same game,
Hmm.
which is important because if you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't play video games at all, then they don't really understand. They especially don't understand a game like World of Warcraft that you can't pause.
Right. Can you just
Or
pause that and pay attention to
yeah,
me,
can you
please?
just pause it? Or it's like you're trying to play like when you're playing Overwatch, ain't nobody gonna talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
I know
It's
what you're saying. Yes, I know what you were saying.
it's like I'm playing Overwatch, and when I'm playing Overwatch, there is absolutely nothing at all in the entire world that is more important than that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because like every second counts. Like you have to be like completely engaged in the match, or
Yeah.
else you're not doing it right.
Yeah. But
So
in WoW, like, look, hey, Icarus is in chat. What's up, man? He said, it's true, my massive DPS on WoW is what got my current girlfriend's attention.
hell yeah, top deeps,
There you go.
cool treats, hot deeps.
And that ass. That ass.
That ass.
Yeah. But no,
Yeah.
you can't. So it's, we were talking all, as we were going through each show, we were talking about, or each game, we were talking about all the different ways you can communicate with people in that game, but we weren't talking about what's on the outside of the headset, and that's the world around us immediately here, which is generally where the biggest clash comes in. So without that common ground of gaming, that's usually a sticking point, because us gamers spend a lot of time gaming,
Yeah.
and that's
I
going
mean,
to
that's what
compete
we
with
do.
anything else in your life, including in a significant other, a blossoming relationship, somebody who just really prefers crappy reality TV. I might be speaking from experience on that. Maybe.
What, you don't want to watch The Bachelor? You piece of shit.
It was more like, what was that? What's that spouse killing show?
Snap?
Yes,
I've never seen it.
Snapped. Yeah, I had an ex who was real big into Snapped.
Um,
Didn't bode well.
do
I
you
was
think
like,
she
I'll
was
play
trying
WoW.
to tell you something?
Maybe she started watching more of that to like hint that I should stop playing WoW so much.
Or she just wanted to kill you?
I didn't take the hint.
Oh, at least you're still alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, let's weigh some pros and cons. Like obviously, um, it doesn't just like gaming itself isn't like I know I'm trying to
Platinum said the problem with WoW relationships is I can't touch titties through Discord. And then Big G said, I touch my own titties.
problem solved. Um, right. So when you're looking to be in a relationship, not just a hookup, but within a relationship, you want to have like the same interests.
Yeah.
It's not just gaming. It's like if somebody's really into fucking skidooing or whatever, or like sea-doing, or I don't know,
Skidooing.
snowmobiling. You'd probably want to find somebody who likes the same thing. Like, and you'd probably meet somebody of significance in your life at like a snowmobile convention or something.
Yep.
Like it's not
Absolutely.
just like gamers need to date gamers. It's like people need to date people who have a common interest.
Absolutely.
Um,
I've got a friend who's actually struggling with that right now.
really.
Yes. Okay, here's a really good example. I'm not going to name him, not that he'd be watching anyway, but he is a gamer. He does play Overwatch. He was interested in this girl, and they were hitting it off on some common interests, and it turns out that Overwatch was one of them. So here's not something, it's not a relationship that was born of Overwatch, but it was a relationship that involved Overwatch.
Mhm.
Okay. And so that was something they were doing together. It was one of the things where he was immediately like, oh my God, this girl likes to play Overwatch. What a jackpot I hit. And, what a great, for him, it's something that he was interested in doing. She's obviously as well. It's gaming for both of them. All the things we were just saying. Well, it turns out that she doesn't really like to play with him as much. Now, I don't know if he sucks or something like that. And maybe
Sounds
that's the
like he
reason why.
sucks, probably.
Sorry, unnamed bro. You might suck. But the point is, uh, it turned out that that was not something that was actually working for them, so they don't do that anymore. And like, what a letdown, right? To have
Yeah.
that be something that becomes a part of your relationship and then is kind of snatched away. What she actually said about it was, that's kind of me time. Like, I want to just escape into that game and not pay attention to anything, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Which, and it turns out there are other issues that are kind of bigger than that that I guess might play into some of that, but
It's probably the biggest issue though. It's like I hooked up with you
I don't
because
think
you
it's the
play
biggest.
Overwatch and now you don't want to play Overwatch with me.
I don't think that's the biggest, but it's up
Let's see.
there.
Let's see. Draven brings up a good point. It's like you could date somebody that was into Overwatch, but you couldn't date someone that was into Call of Duty. So like,
Ouch.
it's not just gaming. It's
Savage,
like
bro.
you have to be into the same games as
Yeah, like what if they were a filthy console player?
exactly. I don't think that I could be with somebody who was a console player. You know, like strictly, like that would be weird.
I don't
'Cause he-
associate with that swine.
Because he'd be like, "Oh, what's this plan? Here's a controller." I'd be like, "Ugh, ugh. Look at these delicate fingers. These are keyboards and mice."
Yeah, look, Spaz said I played WoW and then Pandaria dropped. My wife was like, "Hell yes, pandas," and we do a podcast about WoW together now.
Nice.
So look what that led to.
I've met a lot of people who are just like, I started playing WoW because of pandas. Like, I didn't realize like how many people just fucking love the shit out of pandas.
Okay, side note.
All right.
All right, let's go with that for one moment because I think there's a lot of the old guard from this game, people who've been playing it a long time, who absolutely fucking hated Pandaria. Not just because of pandas. First of all, because of pandas in theory alone, because they thought a big fluffy cuddly thing is not the badassery that I'm accustomed to for this game. They felt like maybe it was cartoony, maybe it was, to which I'd say, have you seen Stormwind?
Yeah.
But no.
We've been there.
Alliance players, love you. But for Pandaria, that was a key shift in Blizzard's approach to World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they made a real big shift away from the super, like min-maxing and stat-oriented. Everything from then on was involving things like pet battles.
Yeah. It
AKA
became like less Tolkien, more like whimsical.
Yes, and also just started appealing to a larger base. And
Yes.
for a game's health, that's a very, very good thing.
Mm-hmm.
The mass appeal is something that, but I understand the old guard's position on it. From them, Warcraft was this thing that they had and they owned, and it was theirs. And if you didn't know how to min-max your gear, if you didn't know how to get that one enchantment to your bracers that gave you +3 agility, then you couldn't PvP. You just could not hang with the best PvPers because you weren't doing those extra things. If you didn't use that mana pot at just the right time, then your frost mage wouldn't be able to hang, and your glass cannon would get broken. It's all of those things that the old guard really, really loves, and I do not begrudge them that. I think that's larger discussion, right? But
Yeah.
Pandaria was a complete break from that. Pandaria was in both gameplay advancement and some of them would say devolving, actually, but both in gameplay, in stats, in the things that were available in the game, like pet battles. That's the biggest example I can think of. Those are all things that are meant to appeal to a bigger base. There are entire shows devoted to that stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
There's entire communities based around those things. It used to be pet collecting, now it's pet battling, and the levels of the pets and all those sorts of things. But all of those things combined to appeal to a greater base, which if they hadn't done that, the greater consideration is what would have happened to the game. Would the game, what we don't know is, were the numbers dwindling? Did they do these things to appeal to a larger base and actually increase subscriptions? We don't know these things. We don't really have the visibility on that stuff. But it's funny how the split is so hard on pandas.
Yeah, it
Right?
is.
Here you have an example from Spaz saying it specifically brought more people to the game, which was the whole point. But then we know of plenty of other people who were like, pandas, fuck that, I'm out of here. And now some people are coming back to the game and saying the same sort of thing, like, oh yeah, I haven't played since pandas because fuck pandas.
Yeah. But that's so. Pandas are great.
Yeah,
Everything's great.
I agree. I'm just saying.
And like, I have to wonder. Like, I am not a furry. I would tell you guys if I was, because I feel perpetually like charmed and interested in that whole subculture.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like it's adorable. Like it's an adorable subculture.
Yep.
But I feel like WoW has a lot of things to offer for somebody of that persuasion, especially like druid shaman. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like an opportunity to maybe like release some of the desires of somebody who might be a furry, like turning into a cat or what have you as a druid or a wolf or whatever, and like running around and just like and pouring that persona into an open world situation. And I think pandas really spoke to that as well because I've seen a lot of groups online, you know, who want to be pandas because they are furries, and
Hmm.
you
Well,
know
that makes sense.
maybe a panda wouldn't be their persona, excuse me, per se, but
Yeah.
like it helps, and it's just like it's kind of a and like maybe somebody who's not like really interested in like uh sharing that information with everybody could be a panda and play with their friends, but still get that sort of like, this is me, I feel good, this is making me feel better about myself, but in secret kind of way. So it's just like I'm still playing this legit game with
Sure.
my legit friends, but I kind of I don't know what I'm
Isn't
saying
that a
because
pretty specific sliver though? Furries.
yes.
Like I don't know. I don't know how big the scene is. I actually don't really know
Oh,
much
dude, it's
about it.
huge.
So maybe it's not that much of a sliver as I was thinking of then.
I don't know. But I'm just saying.
And yes,
So
she said fursona.
that's what you call it, a
Yeah.
fursona.
What's
I
your
often try
fursona?
to think like what my fursona would be if I had one, but like
Hmm.
I'm not a furry, so I have no idea. Like, am I a cat? Am I a deer? Am I
This
a
segment on furries
dragon?
brought to you by Arizona Iced Tea. Please sponsor us.
um, okay, so let's just get back to the topic. So, Platinum Monkey is a cockroach. I thought you were a triangle.
Wait, no, I thought he was an attack helicopter.
Oh, well, maybe he's all of the things.
I mean, that's all raid talk, so God knows what's happened since.
But
Mike's furry would be Cthulhu.
I want to get through this quickly. Like,
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
IRL relationships versus gaming relationships. So like so let's say an IRL relationship is somebody you go on a date with, in person, like you see each other in person all the time, you go out and do things like regular people, versus two people who are in a relationship because of, let's say, WoW, and they've never met, or maybe they've met once or twice,
Okay.
but they live far apart. Because chances are you're going to live far apart from the people you play WoW with. So like, what are the pros and cons of each? Like, IRL, you're obligated to do shit with each other, and like you have to get up and get dressed and go do things and
Okay.
spend money probably and deal with that bullshit, versus a gaming relationship where like you're paying $15 a month to hang out with this person in WoW, and you can do a whole ton of things, and if you're not on camera you don't have to dress up at all or shower or anything, but if you are on camera you don't even have to wear pants.
It's true.
you know so like
I
you can
may or
just
may
like
not be wearing pants right now.
you can fix the top half of you, but you don't have to worry about the bottom half.
It's true. It's very true.
So I'm just saying, so like that's like a pro and con situation.
Okay, so let's take an example from chat. So much earlier in the chat log, Amith brought up that she was having a really great time and making really great friends with somebody in WoW and playing together for a very long time, and then suddenly it turned out that person revealed themselves to be 40 when she at the time was 19, and she wanted very much for her to be her girlfriend. And that came out of nowhere, it sounds like. So
It's flattering.
yeah, I mean it's flattering, but it sounds like it kind of ruined their gaming relationship. There were two different expectations set on that one. Now, I feel like the conversation about miscommunication and misleading directions on these things is something we should come back to separately.
Yeah, but
But
what
in-
you're saying is like that probably wouldn't happen IRL per se.
Right, because there
Because-
are certain visual cues.
Yes, and social cues that you would have seen before it got to that point.
Yeah, and there's a big maybe on that, right? Because relationships are just complicated on that note to begin with, even with all of the regular normal cues.
Yeah.
There's plenty of us who don't get it, and when you're first starting out in this stuff, you definitely don't get it. I definitely didn't
No.
get it.
I think I'm probably better at reading relationships online than I am IRL, but that's just me, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say you have a pretty good talent for that, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cinder just said also the trouble with dating people you game with is if the relationship falls apart, you can potentially lose your raid team or guild, and that's
That's
a real
true.
consideration.
Yes.
We've
Like,
seen entire guilds fall apart over that.
absolutely. Like, we had that email on our last show about the follow-up about the dude in the dude's guild who was raiding with them, and he was a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was awesome and helpful, like the perfect guild mate that you would ever want to have, but he sucked at raiding. And his boyfriend was also in the raid team, and they were worried that if they had to kick this guy, then the boyfriend would leave as well, which, rightly so. Um, you kind of have to stick up for your relationship like that. But like, yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that shit can happen IRL too. Like if you're on like a sports team or you're in a band or something like that. So, but I think online there's a lot of room for miscommunication.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you want to go back to
Like
that.
Spanky just said, yeah. Just because you can't necessarily like even if you're talking to your guild invoice like every week like we do, like it's still super easy to miscommunicate with people and to get upset about nothing because like you can't like you're not there with each other.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah. So I think maybe like a gaming relationship where you're not together 24/7 is probably more fraught with that danger than IRL, but it's still totally possible IRL.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a draw.
And look,
I don't know.
Raging Duck said that he's seen the guilds fall apart over relationship stuff in WoW, but that the guild that fell apart ended up with him in Blood of the Scribe, our guild.
That's our guild.
So that's a win.
Try not to fall in love with us, okay?
Definitely a win. Too late.
Oh, geez. But yeah. So,
And then Winchester said, I try to keep relationship stuff to IRL. Friendships are great through gaming, though. And you know what? The fact that you have that kind of line for yourself is a really helpful thing. That's something where you're just saying, okay, look, I'm not thinking about that. I'm not even considering that in here. And so I have a line that I've drawn for myself. There's friends in here only, and that's fine. And we'll play games, and we'll have a good time, and that's it. And then when I'm off, I'm off. Because the other pro and con about an online relationship, here's kind of a con about an online relationship, especially through gaming. One of the big differences is IRL, when you're hanging out with someone or whatever, if you're not paying attention to them, they can tell that.
mm-hmm.
If I'm not looking you in the eye, and instead I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Then, they're not, in real life, you can tell that sort of thing. But in game, you can't tell if somebody is doing something else, and you don't get any of those sorts of things. So you're not getting those same sorts of, and
That's
also
true.
it's like relationships on demand, right? You can bail whenever you want. Oh, gotta go, cat on fire, doorbell, whatever, right? Those sorts of things. That you can just, what kind of relationship is that, right? What kind of building is that? So.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's just I don't know. I think gaming, online gaming especially, just makes it a little bit easier and a little bit more likely for people like us, like you and I, and people we know, and maybe some people in chat who are maybe a little bit socially awkward, a little bit nervous around other people in real life, to meet people. Like especially with WoW, like I said, like the game is designed around doing things with other people,
Right.
and so it makes it if you're spending all your time playing an MMO, there's a good chance that you're going to find friends and like a slightly less chance that you are going to meet somebody that you fall in love with or at least hook up with. Either or, both are fine.
But definitely a chance.
Yeah, but definitely a chance. Like, and I think that Blizzard games, on the whole, sort of attract really supportive and creative people, like we've seen on Twitter, like we see in the chat room.
Great community of that. Yep.
Absolutely. So I'm just like I'm saying like maybe Blizzard games gives you a better opportunity to find love than other games do because there's more people, There's easier methods of communication, and the games themselves seem to attract people who are community oriented. So I'm just saying.
Sure, fair enough.
So, like, I'm just wondering, and there used to be a Facebook page for this, like, WoW singles. I'm not sure if it's still around or not, but like,
Is that the same as Datecraft? Because that was just mentioned in chat,
no.
and I just looked it up, and that appears to not be around anymore.
Oh, really?
Well, Datecraft. I don't know about the one that you're referring to, or if they
I
were the same
haven't seen
thing.
it lately. I think
Let's
Liz
check.
is really missing out on like the opportunity to just like organize some kind of singles.
Are they
for
though?
WoW.
Let me play devil's advocate with you on that.
Okay.
I disagree, and I think like the devil's advocate perspective on this is I feel like that's a really slippery slope and a very difficult area to touch upon, because what if it doesn't work out, and what kind of liabilities are you opening yourself up to?
All right.
And
It's
like
like, thanks a lot, Blizz. You set me up with a crazy bitch, and she cut off my junk and threw it into a field.
yeah, exactly. And then Blizz is getting sued
Right.
over the field dick,
Okay, fine.
the field
Okay.
floppy, if you will.
Then somebody else is missing out on a huge opportunity
I agree.
too. But wouldn't it be interesting if like somebody organized like a speed dating thing at BlizzCon? Not like at BlizzCon, but like maybe like after the convention's over, somewhere else, like at a restaurant or something, or like one
That
of the rooms
sounds
in the Hilton.
promising.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
One of the rooms in the Hilton, isn't that a little forward? Oh,
No,
you mean like a conference room?
Yeah. Not like my room at the Hilton.
No, you don't want to
Um,
be hosting a dating site in your own room at any hotel for any event.
Yeah.
Well, unless maybe it's like a swingers event, I guess.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's probably a lot of shit that goes on during BlizzCon that we have absolutely no idea about. So,
Yeah, there might be a whole underworld of this, a back door of this, if you will, that we don't know about. In which case, more power to 'em.
absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of people who are playing with their guildies and are secretly in love with them, and they meet them at BlizzCon, and then who knows what happens. So,
Yeah,
I
and
mean, 2 hotels.
that's exactly what Rose said earlier in chat. He said, and then they meet at BlizzCon, and he even spelled that out. It was like OONTZ, which I thought was rather effective. I got it right away.
Very effective. Okay, so we're just about out of time.
Already?
Yes, the show goes for an hour, and
Do we
it's
need to
almost been an
rethink
hour.
the? I feel like we did. Did we even get through our list?
No, we didn't. This is
Wow.
good though.
We had like 4 bullet points on a page, and we didn't even get through all that.
That's good. That's good.
I feel like we've barely touched the surface. Maybe we should come back to this topic. I mean, we can see.
Yeah, maybe. But we should go because Azeroth Roundtable I think is coming on next, and we don't want to compete with that shit.
Absolutely not.
Plus, I want to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was our first episode of the LB stream. We're gonna do this every Friday, and we're gonna try to have a different topic every time. But maybe we could continue this topic because it seems like there's a lot to be said about it. But we are going to upload this onto YouTube probably. This won't be a podcast ever.
Right.
It's too sloppy and too stupid to be a podcast. But this is our first venture into a second show, and we really appreciate you guys being here. Like the turnout is incredible,
Yeah, that's
and
really
you guys
great.
are so chatty. And like as we keep doing this, we'll probably be able to like pull out your comments more. Because right now we're like, I know I'm in like total podcast mode where I'm just like thinking and talking out loud. But we want your guys' input. We want you guys to hang out with us. We want to talk to you. We want to have these discussions about things. So this is exactly what we wanted. Did you have fun, Thorn?
Absolutely. I absolutely did. I had a great time. A great time.
Me too. I mean, I can hardly concentrate with this massive boner. Like if I looked down, like a sharp turn
Yeah,
down,
careful.
like I get dick in the eye. So
Dick.
that's-
Hashtag dick eye.
and like when you get a dick in your eye, like directly in it, you go blind immediately. Like there's no turning back. That's why I have 2 glass eyes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, look, I mean, do you want to play the outro? Well, we'll hang on the outro music, but do you want to get that ready? I also want to just chime in with a thank you. There's a lot of same people here who listen to the show. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. The podcast show. Thank you for supporting this. We had something like 30 some odd people in here tonight throughout this hour, and that's awesome. You guys are kick ass. Tell your friends. And we definitely like to do this on the regs,
Yeah,
which
we are
means
going to.
regularly, as the kids say. Hello, fellow kids. In the meantime, for the next one, I'm going to look into some of that WoW dating stuff and see if any of that's still around. If we can at least retain that one piece, I want to look into that and just see if any of it's still around.
Sweet.
Because that was cool. Yeah. Guys, the fact that I missed some of what This was saying because you guys were so funny in chat is just kick-ass. So thanks again on that from my end as well. And This, did you have a good time?
Yes, I did. Apparently, Roundtable's not recording till tomorrow. Oh. Well, we can keep saying goodbye then. Yeah, you guys are all beautiful, and I love all of you. And I think the Epic Fail podcast is on tonight, is it not?
It sure is.
Perhaps in an hour. So you should definitely check that out. And yeah, and I hope that all of you find love in a Blizz game, because that would be great. Maybe with each other.
Now
in the
that
chat.
we found love, what are we gonna do with it?
Is that a song?
It is. I did not just come up with that.
Oh, okay. That's what I was gonna say.
No.
That'd be good.
No.
All right. Well, we gotta go. Thanks, guys, so much.
Yes, thank you all very
We'll
much.
See you guys next Friday.
Signing off. Let's hear that outro music. What?
I don't know. I don't have any.
I thought it was the horn. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.